Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
This is Boat.
Boat.
Yes.
All right.
I have another healer
This
question.
is ship.
I have another healer question.
Yes.
I went to a Qigong healing center 5 years ago, and
Yes.
it was a very beautiful, expansive experience.
All right.
Until a certain extent, and then it became negative. And
All
right
right.
now, 5 years later, I'm trying to decide whether I should let them go or what to do with it, because I feel.
What became negative in your estimation? In what way did the idea of negativity express itself as you define it?
I felt like they were watching me a lot, or they were influencing me. I felt like there was bad intent towards me and my family.
You are suggesting that you perceive that individuals had intentions that were not compatible with the vibration of your preference.
Yes.
All right. Well, so what? Those vibrational intentions can't affect you unless you choose to be affected by them.
I did choose to be affected by them for a long time.
Well, all right. Then that was an interesting experience that you now have under your belt.
Yes.
So what do you want to do with that experience?
I wanted to become neutral or positive.
Then go right ahead. What's stopping you?
I don't know. I don't know how to do that, because
You don't know how to be neutral?
No,
All right. May I explain something to you?
Yes.
All right. Are you paying attention?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you understand, and have you heard us discuss the idea previously, that nothing has built-in meaning?
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
That unless I assign a meaning to it, it doesn't do anything.
And so that understanding is not enough to allow you to experience neutrality in situations?
I keep adding bad meanings to them.
Then you are choosing to do so. How does it serve you in your belief system to continue to apply a negative meaning to something that you could simply apply a positive meaning to? Remember that there's a difference. There is a difference between the ability to discern that something is intending negative energy or using negative energy and applying a negative meaning to it for you. There's a difference. You can still recognize that somebody may be operating in a negative way, but that doesn't mean that for you personally, you have to give the situation or the observation negative meaning for your personal life. Just because you can see that someone is operating negatively doesn't mean that it will affect you in a negative way unless you choose to believe that it will. So the ability to observe it isn't automatically the experience of it. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
So, once you truly understand that, then you can allow yourself some degree of neutrality. But if you find that you do constantly choose to apply a negative meaning to things, then you must have a reason for doing so, or you wouldn't do it. You all have the same motivational mechanism. You all have exactly the same one. You only do the things, you only choose to go toward what you actually believe will serve you in a positive way. And you always move away from what you believe will not serve you, or is a negative idea, or is not to your benefit. Always, without fail. So if you realize empirically that you keep going towards something that you know, that you can see is not to your benefit, yet you keep choosing to do so, that tells you you have an unconscious belief that tells you for some reason it is to your benefit. So you have to find out what that belief is you've attached to this thing that makes it seem to be to your benefit. Because as long as it seems to be beneficial, you will always move in that direction. You will always choose that thing. So you have to find out what that belief is and detach it from that thing. Find out why it's there and detach it from that thing. Don't make that connection. Don't see it in that light. Redefine that thing in a way that serves you best. And as soon as you detach that idea of a positive belief to a negative thing, then reattach the positive thing to a positive thing, you will go in that other direction automatically and immediately, and you will go away from the negative thing that you have detached the positive belief to. For example, many people are afraid to act on their excitement for a variety of reasons. They may feel that if they truly become their full selves, they will suddenly stand out in a crowd and somehow be ostracized. And that is their belief and that is their fear. So if that really is the belief they've attached to the idea of being their true selves, they will do everything in their power to run away from being their true selves because they fear the alternative. But if you understand that you've just been taught to attach that belief to it, and it isn't empirically true that being your true self will have you be ostracized, at least by anyone you care about, then the idea is that you can remove that belief from that idea and be your true self. Because it won't matter if someone comes along and ostracizes you, because you will not accept their opinion of you as anything that's true for you. You will simply recognize it's their issue, not yours. Is this making sense?
Yes.
But?
May I have a hint
A
about
hint
the
of what?
belief that I have that's having
Well,
me
let's
choose-
explore the idea. Let's choose something specific. You said that you keep assigning negative beliefs to things.
Yes.
So pick something very strong that you assign a negative belief to all the time.
Well, that Qigong healing place is that in the beginning I believed them to be super positive and
Yes.
thing of good, and then I transformed them into something.
All right, but are you
Harmful.
still there?
No.
Then why are you still obsessing about that?
That's what I can't stop obsessing over it is the problem.
All
I
right.
can't let it go.
So in some way, shape, or form, you believe that you failed yourself by attracting yourself to something you thought was positive that ultimately was perceived as negative. So basically what you're saying is you feel like you have failed yourself, that you can't discern what's best for you. Yes? You don't trust yourself, in other words. You don't trust your own guidance, is what you're saying. So you're obsessing about it because you keep attaching the idea of not wanting to move forward because you're afraid the same thing will happen. That you'll attract yourself to something you think is positive and suddenly find out, oh, it has some negative content. But what I'm telling you is, so what? If you understand that everything has the potential to have positive and negative, and you understand that you attracted it to yourself to get something positive out of it, then it won't matter if there are actually negative elements in it, because you will have only gotten the positive benefit out of it, no matter what it contains. That's why you can ignore that idea of having failed. You will simply know that whatever you attract to could potentially express some negativity, but it won't matter, because you won't accept it as true for you. So you can let go of the idea that somehow you betrayed yourself, you tricked yourself, you sabotaged yourself. You understand?
Yes, thank you. That feels better. My
Thank
heart
you.
feels better.
Thank you.
May I ask you one more question?
There's that single question again.
Sorry. I see these entities in my dreams, and they may be the Greys, but I'll just describe them to you anyway. They're very short, and they're very dark. Their skin color is very dark, and they have these joints. They're very swollen, and I'm always expressing my love towards them, and they're always seeing me, and I try to take care of them in my dreams, but I'm not able to because I don't understand their biology. I don't understand how to help them.
That's all right. Even though there is some of that actually going on, what they're also reflecting to you is exactly what we just talked about. The idea that you're using that experience as a symbolic reflection that you don't necessarily know what to do because of this idea that you don't trust yourself. Just start working with what we've already talked to you about and lighten up in that direction, and you will find the quality of these interactions in your dreams will change as well. All right?
Okay, that's beautiful.
Pleasant dreams.
Thank you. Are they the Greys, or what are they?
Yes, to some degree, but not as you necessarily think of them.
Okay.
We will not go into detail on this right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bashar, thank you very much for this interaction. I'm very enthralled.
Good day to you.
Thank you, you too. I was hoping to delve into basically the first topic that was addressed in this event, which was the crystal you were introduced to about, used for communication. My brother and I were very interested to know if you could indulge into where we're at with open communication with other extraterrestrial races as far as like our human race and our,
As we have said, nothing much has changed from what we have originally perceived going on in your energy right now collectively. That being that sometime between your years of 2015 and 2017, it is most likely that your civilization will finally understand definitively that such a thing as extraterrestrial life exists. Now, we're not telling you how you're going to find that out. I am not saying that will be the result of the idea of open contact. However, as we read the collective energy now, it seems most highly probable that open contact between other civilizations and your civilization will take place sometime between your years of 2025 to 2033. That's as we read the energy now. That seems unlikely to change, but we will keep you posted.
Gotcha. And so as far as like on an individual basis,
That can happen sooner and has been going on for quite some time.
Gotcha.
But we're talking about mass open contact.
right. So, with you're saying the crystals, if we, use those. And,
It's a vote for open contact.
gotcha. Is there anything additional, supplemental that can help accelerate?
Only what your imagination brings to it and staying in your vibration of preference.
Ooh, I like that. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Please remember that the crystals, like any tool, technique, or ritual, are simply another version of a permission slip. But they are specifically designed to be a permission slip for the idea of your relationship to the beings you call extraterrestrial.